tremendously respected all over the world, and he goes right to the king, and the king is incredible. Gotten to be friends with both of them very much, and they want to see this ended, and they're going all out to make sure that it is ended. I think the meeting in Saudi Arabia was a fantastic one. We met with the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic young guy. He's young, but with great imagination, and I think Russia, likewise. I've spoken to President Putin, and my people are dealing with him constantly, and his people in particular.
Looks like Trump's finally lost his superpower, talking nonsense. Our favorite orange turd just got his tongue tied by a reporter's tough question. Guess all that hot air finally ran out, huh?
There was no communication with Russia whatsoever, and Russia wasn't answering calls. They were not talking to anybody. They wouldn't talk to anybody, and people sort of accepted that as being, and they want to do something. I mean, that's what I do. I do deals. My whole life is deals. That's all I know is deals. And I know when somebody wants to make it and when somebody doesn't. I will say this before I came here, that they want to go forward and just keep going without stop. But when I got here, one of the first calls I made was to President Putin, and we were treated with great respect, and they want to.
But wait, there's more. While Donnie Diapers is struggling to string a sentence together, his BFF Elon Musk is blabbing away like there's no tomorrow. It's like a twisted game of Simon Says, where Simon's an ego-maniac billionaire and Trump's the world's worst player. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
They want to end this war. So that's a big thing, because I didn't know if I could say that, but it's a big thing. They want to do it, and the group in the front row that I introduced, they're all very active in it, and we're working on deals right now, transactions right now, and in particular, the big one is to get the war stopped, whether it's ceasefire or direct to an agreement. I'd like to go directly to an agreement, but ceasefire will always happen a little bit quicker. And every day you're saving thousands, or at least hundreds, but thousands in some cases lives. So we want to see if we can get that done.
Picture this, our favorite orange turd standing at the podium, looking like he just saw his own reflection without spray tan. Trump, the self-proclaimed stable genius, faced a simple question from a reporter, and suddenly his words turned into a jumbled mess. Is this the same guy who can't stop tweeting?
Correspondent based in Paris. Question for both of you, actually. Mr. Macron, you were one of the last Western leaders to speak to Putin before Ukraine's invasion.
It is what it is. Again, it's a war that should have never been started. It's a war that would not have been started if I were president, but it did start, and it's at a terrible level where cities are.
Apparently, his fingers work better than his mouth these days. As the reporter dropped the hammer with a straightforward question, Trump's face turned redder than usual. It was like watching a toddler try to explain quantum physics. Lots of noise, zero sense. The crowd watched in disbelief as the great orator became a mumbling mess. It was almost as if someone had replaced his brain with a bowl of overcooked spaghetti. But hey, let's give credit where it's due. Trump managed to look both confused and constipated at the same time. That's talent, folks. His ability to speak vanished faster than his hairline in a strong wind. It was a sight to behold, like watching a car crash in slow motion, except the car was Trump's ego and the crash was his coherence. Experts have noticed Trump's public speaking skills taking a nosedive lately. It's like watching a stand-up comedian forget all his jokes mid-set, except it's not funny because this guy used to have access to nuclear codes. Some smarty-pants commentators suggest that his inability to handle simple questions might be a sign of a bigger problem, you think? During the speech, Trump got so frustrated he looked like he was about to pop a blood vessel. Analysts are saying it's a sign of his declining confidence and growing awareness that he's about as popular as a root canal. Poor Donnie Diapers, realizing that people aren't buying his bull anymore. It's almost sad. Almost? But wait, there's more. While Trump's tongue was tied in knots, guess who was ready to take center stage? That's right, folks. It's like a really bad buddy comedy. We've got a president who can't talk and an egomaniac billionaire billionaire who won't shut up. Stay tuned for the next episode of Grumpy Trumpy and the Twitter Tycoon. Just when you thought this political circus couldn't get any weirder, Elon Musk decides to crash the party. With Trump struggling to form coherent sentences, Musk stepping up as the world's most unwanted translator. But here's the million-dollar question: is Musk actually helping, or is he just turning this disaster into a full-blown catastrophe? Enter Elon Musk, the self-appointed co-president and billionaire boy wonder. While Trump's busy impersonating a malfunctioning robot, Musk's decided to play superhero. But is this tech tycoon really saving the day, or just making Trump look even more like a confused grandpa at a tech convention? Musk's been strutting around the White House like he owns the place, complete with an armed bodyguard entourage that'd make a Bond villain jealous. It's like he's auditioning for a reality show called Keeping Up with the Kardashians White House Edition. But here's the kicker: while Musk is busy playing dress up, his companies are tanking faster than Trump's ability to string a sentence together. You'd think having a billionaire bestie would be great for Trump's image, right? Wrong. Turns out Musk's ego is inflating faster than a SpaceX rocket, and it's dragging Trump's already abysmal approval ratings even lower. It's like watching two kids fighting over who gets to captain the Titanic. Spoiler alert, they both end up underwater. But wait, it gets better. While Trump's struggling to remember his own name, Musk's blabbing like there's no tomorrow. He's tweeting, he's talking, he's probably inventing a new language just to hear himself speak more. It's like he's trying to fill the silence left by Trump's sudden bout of verbal constipation. And let's not forget the bizarre bromance between these two ego-maniacs. Trump's treating Musk like his personal Siri, hoping he'll translate his garbled nonsense into something resembling human speech. Meanwhile, Musk's acting like he's the brains of the operation, which, let's be honest, isn't saying much in this administration. As Musk keeps talking, we're all left wondering, is he Trump's savior or his final nail in the coffin? At this point, it's hard to tell which one of them is the sidekick in this political buddy comedy gone wrong. One thing's for sure though, between Trump's newfound silence and Musk's never-ending chatter, we're all wishing for a giant mute button for the entire White House. Well, folks, it looks like we've got a real circus on our hands. Trump and Musk, the dynamic duo of delusion, are giving us a show that's part comedy, part tragedy, and all ego. Experts are saying this bizarre bromance could spell trouble for Trump's political future. I mean, when you're getting upstaged by a guy who thinks Twitter is his personal playground, you know you're in deep doo-doo. But here's the million-dollar question: will Grumpy Trumpy ever get his mojo back? Or is he doomed to be Elon's less talkative sidekick forever? One thing's for sure, this buddy comedy is tanking faster than Musk's companies. Maybe it's time for America to change the channel on these two attention-hungry man-babies. After all, we've got enough problems without dealing with a president who can't speak, and a billionaire who won't shut up. Talk about a match made in ego heaven.